Okay, now we're gonna learn how to take out nails. So I have pry bar and a cat's paw. I'm gonna grab these tools. We usually keep them in a bucket right here next to all your tool bags. And I'm gonna grab a set of stairs that we can pull apart for this demo. And we'll do this outside. So I want to find a work surface that's not going to move on me much. When I go to use these tools, these are called cat's paws because the end of it that digs into the wood looks like a paw, a cat's paw. And then this would be just like a wedge, and this is a pry bar. So it's kind of like a crowbar end, wedge, that's a pry bar, cat's paw end. So when I go to do this, I want to make sure that I secure it so it's not going to move on me. So I got my feet down, and when I go to get this nail out, notice that I'm kind of anticipating when I hammer in, the cat's paw is going to move towards the nail and it's going to dig deep. So I want to start away from the nail a little bit, kind of get it started, and I'm predicting where those paws are going to end up. I want to get just underneath that nail head. So as I hit and I get closer to the nail, I start to lift up on it so I don't bury it too deep. Now you see that this is just going to destroy the wood. So we would use a cat's paw if we don't care about the material that we're taking apart. I wouldn't want to use a cat's paw on something that I plan on reusing the board for because it's pretty destructive. But it's pretty efficient, and sometimes it's your only way to get a nail out. Then we go to do this, you just kind of hit with your hand at the top end so you get some leverage. You want to hit that nail out, and once you get it started and out, you can hook your hammer in there. There's another way you can go about your hammer head. You can kind of twist sideways if you want to, and you can kind of snake back and forth if the nail is really stubborn. This way works pretty well. You just keep re-hooking near the base, and you keep turning the hammer out. And that's one way to get a nail out. We want to make sure that we put these in your tool pouch or in a bent nail bucket right away so that no one steps on that and gets it in their shoe. So I'm going to put mine in my tool pouch. Now another way to get these nails out is to attack it from the side. So we can use a pry bar for that, or the pry bar end or the crowbar end of this tool. And then I can go and I can pry against the surface of the material. And then once I get one end free, it's a lot easier to get the other end free. Now that we have this out, I can go and I can take a block of something else underneath, and we can hit out those nails going this way. So I can go and just knock the pointy end through to get that nail head exposed. And then now that I'm back over here, I can go and I can pry out these nails. So I'm going to get this pointy end out as well. Notice that the whole time I'm bracing the material up against something else that's not going to move. Now that I have this out, I can go and I can hook my hammerhead on here, and that's another way to go about getting these nails out. Now the more it bounces on me, the less likely I'm going to get it out. So I want to put my weight on it, and I want to really make sure that I'm focusing on just hitting the nail with the hammerhead and the bottom. And this is just moving on me way too much. So what I gotta do in this case is I'm gonna go back and just do the little side bend to get that one out. I've got other tools as well. Rib joint pliers. These get their name because the adjustable grooves look like ribs. And so I could grab a nail by pliers as well. And it kind of works the same way as rocking a nail back and forth with the head of your hammer, or the claw of your hammer. That's another way to get your nail out. And then there's bull nose pliers, which kind of look like rib joint pliers, but the nose is a little bit different. You can grab those as well. You can cut them with it, which is really hard to do, or you can pull them out. With your pry bar, it kind of works the same way. It's a little bit nicer than the head of the nail. You saw, or the head of the hammer. You saw how hard it was sometimes to get those nails out with the head of your hammer. So you can use a pry bar as well, and that works pretty well too. If this material wasn't so small and wanted to jump around when I was using the claw and the hammer, it would come out a lot easier. So if I was doing it against, let's say like that wall right there, which is pretty heavy, it's not going to move easy. It's a lot easier to use your hammer to get that nail out.